ආරංජන් අනිත් තේ තාපොට්ටකින් මේ එනකන් යමු. මර්වින් අනිත් ඔක්කොමල වගේ එනකො තා පොඩ්ඩක් යමු විනාඩියක් ඒගොල්ලෝ එයි. ලොකු ඉෂුව එකක් තියෙනවනේ පොඩි අයගෙත් එක්ක. ඒක මේ කොහොම හරි රිසෝල්ව් කරන්න අපි ප්ලෑන් එකක් දාගන්න එක හොඳයි ඇත්තටම. otherwise they just go for violence නෝ නැත්තම් ඉතින් අපරාධනේ ඒකනේ.
Yes.
ඒකනේ. So we'll have to do something and get something going. අපි පොඩි ෆෝරම් එකක් හදලා බලමු. I think මොකක් ඒගොල්ලන්ට කතා කරනකොට you have to be very focused to their problems. මොකද නැත්තම් මේ ලොකු නිකන් world wide විදියට කතා කරලා අමාරුයි ඒගොල්ලන්ට. You have to solve their problem no. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා මේ නැත්තම් attention එක තියාගන්නත් බෑනේ. So I'll have to think. දැන් අපි උනත් අපිට ඉන්ට්‍රස්ටිං නැත්තම් අපි යන්නේ නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ although there'll be a good program, if that does directly relate to you at your position, you don't go for that no. ඉතින් එහෙම එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක නිසා අපි 6 දිනක් 7 දිනක් ඉන්න ඕනේ ඔක්කොම. තාමනේ ඔක්කොමලා.
This cooperative, the cooperative idea of having a cooperative, objectives tama define kala naha neda.
දැන් ඒකේදී ග්‍රේෂන්ගේ idea එකක් නේ. Now he's got lot of knowledge as well as lot of connectivity as well. But ඒ වුණාට වැඩි තියෙන්නේ whether it will serve the purpose of the children. ඒකත් ඕනේ. එතකොට ඉතින් ඒක it will serve in the long term. But in the short term you need something for the small group. So ඒක කරන්නත් ඕනේ අර්ක කරන්නත් ඕනේ. ඉතින් ඉතින් constitution එක හදලා ඒක ඉතින් ලොකු වැඩක් ඉතින් but we need to think about doing that when we have a forum. අපි අර formal විදියට හැමදෙස්සෙම හිතනවානේ we have to have a constitution before you start කියලා. එහෙම නෙමෙයි. I think we need to have a interest group and then form the constitution to according to what the interest group want. එතකොට තමයි we'll have something. නේද?
Even as we are, can't we identify what problems they have one by one and discuss and
ඒක කරන්න we have to meet them as a small group. ඒ කියන්නේ informally ඒගොල්ලන්ට කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් විදිහට අර නිකන් round table එක කතා කරන විදිහට. එතකොට තමයි ඒක extract කරගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. So I'll try to do that.
So I will give my support.
එහෙම කරමු. මම පොඩක් ඉස්සෙල්ලා identify කරගන්න මොනවද මේකේ තියෙන්නේ කියලා ඒකයි.
Sorry, I tell you now.
Today ඉතින් මේ අපි තව ඉන්න 7 දිනක් ඉන්න ඕනේ ඔක්කොම. But we'll see. ඉතින් කියලා නැත්තම් අපි plan කරගමු මොකද්ද කරන්න කියලා ඒක.
Chula, what was that I missed? You were talking about round table or something. I missed the.
ඒක කිව්වේ මෙහෙමයි. අපිට මේ අර ග්‍රේෂන් කිව්වා වගේ අර ලොකු group එකක් හදාගෙන පොඩි group එකක problem එක solve කරන්න බෑ. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් අපි grade 2 එක මෙහෙ එක මේ දැන් developed countries වල education system එකේ very strongly තියෙනවා මේ අර ගැළපෙන විදියට උගන්වන ක්‍රමයක්. ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් grade 2 කිව්වොත් ඔක්කොමලා grade 2 නෙවෙයි. ඒකේ tables 4-5ක් ඉන්නවා. එක level එකේ එක interest තියෙන ළමයි. එතකොට ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි එකට ඉන්නේ. So ඒගොල්ලන්ට උගන්වන විදිය, practical දෙන විදිය ඒවා ටික පොඩ වෙනස්. ඒකයි.
flexible නේ.
ඔව්. එතකොට මේගොල්ලන් interest එක maintain වෙන්නේ. දැන් maths බැරි එක්කෙනාට maths උගන්වන්න ගිහිල්ලා interest එකක් maintain වෙන්නේ නැහැ නේ. ඒකයි. I think so ඒක අර interest එක maintain විදියට වැඩ කරන්න ඕන නිසා තමයි මම කිව්වේ නිකන් formally අර constitution එකක් හදලා ඒක විදියට වැඩ කරලා ඒක හරියන්නේ නැහැ ඇත්තටම. We have to think about what they want first. බලමු ඉතින් අපි එන විදියට බලමු. Okay.
මට මෙහෙම idea එකක්. මට මෙහෙම idea එකක් තියෙනවා. මෙන්න මෙහෙම idea එකක් තියෙනවා. ඔය mindset topic එක නිතරම crop up වෙනවා. හුඟා විශේෂයෙන්ම ලංකාවට අදාළයි. එතකොට මේ ඔය සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක සම්බන්ධව මට පුළුවන් ෆැසිලිටේට් කරන්න කියන්නේ ටෙක්නොලොජි මේ Zoom චූල කරන වගේ එකක් maybe once a week or once a month ෆෝරම් එකක් set up කරලා පබ්ලිසයිස් කළ කැමති අයට එන්න එතකොට සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක්ස්පර්ට් කෙනෙක් ඒ සම්බන්ධයේ ඒගොල්ලෝ තියෙන මේ ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් එක්ස්පීරියන්ස් එකෙන් හරි නොලෙජ් එක හරි අරගෙන ඉවරලා පොඩි ප්‍රසන්ටේෂන් එකක් දීලා ඩයලොග් එකක් නිකන් කතා කර හැකි. එහෙම නැත්නම් තව ෆෝමලි එකක් වර්ක් බුක් එකක් වගේ දීලා ඒගොල්ලන් ටිකක් නිකන් like reflective diary වගේ idea එකකින් just systematically work through. එතකොට ඒකට කැමති අය volunteers වලට පුළුවන් I will take the today's session, I'll take the next session කියලා මේක line up කරන්න පුළුවන්.
I think මෙහෙමයි දැන් ඔය mindfulness කියන එකත් it's a huge subject. මම ඔක ඇත්තටම ස්ටඩි කරා ඔය meditation කරන කට්ටියක මම ඉතින් කිව්වේ නැහැ ඒ වෙලාවේ. මම ස්ටඩි කරා ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ effects එන්නේ කොයි පැතිවලද දැන් ඒ meditation වල effects තියෙන්නේ psychologically change කරන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් arthritis වලට allergy වලට පුළුවන් severe depression වලට එහෙම බෑ. එතකොට
mindfulness නේද?
ඔව්. ඉතින් එක එක medical condition වල හැම එකටම meditation එක හරියට උත්තරයක් නෙවෙයි. But ඒ වුණාට you can change the mindset to be tolerant. එතකොට ඒක කරන්න පුළුවන් from meditation. ඒක ඇත්තටම ඒක එන්නේ මේ what is called බුද්දිස්ට් විදියට කියනවා නම් ලෝකෝත්තර මෙඩිටේෂන්. මම හිතන්නේ ක්‍රිස්තියානි එකෙත් ඒකට නමක් ඇති. but දැන් ගොඩක් ඔය යෝගාරමෙන් කරන්නේ ලෞකික මෙඩිටේෂන් කියන එක. That is also useful and helpful but not long term vision එකක් නෑ. So ඇත්තටම we have the knowledge and everything in Sri Lanka. Only thing is those things have not surfaced from our own priests and Buddhists and everybody else.
No, I wasn't. Chola, I wasn't referring to mindfulness. I mean, it's very valuable. What I was talking about is the mindset. Now, for example,
the mindset එකයි mindfulness. දැන් ඔය කියන විදිහට they all are linked. No, they are not separate items නේ.
No, the point is starting at about 1910 onwards. So likes of Norman Vincent Peale in US was a pioneer, so-called the self-help psychology they call it, that has given that can-do attitude in the American society started from there. There are quite a number of leading lights of people there who have studied that and taught it in even I mean, what you don't learn in universities, people learn that you know how to think positively.
Can do attitude what you are saying කියන වගේනේ.
Can do attitude, yeah. So those are pretty useful, particularly for Sri Lankan children.
අපි දැනට 4 දෙනා ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නේ අනිත් අය සාම ජොයින් වෙලා නැහැ. ග්‍රේෂියන් නේ වෙනකොට ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ වගේ. තව හිටියා දෙන්නෙක්ද තුන් දෙනෙක්ද මට එනවා කියලා රොෂාන්ත් කියන්නේ කවුද දන්නේ නැනේ. රොෂාන්ත් කියලා තියෙන
Ranjan, very briefly, we haven't forgotten the conversation we had about the laptop. I know, Ranjan.
Well, I'm seeing this through Roshan's computer. I'm Sirimal.
Okay. Welcome, Sirimal. Welcome. I have read your letters again and again and again and again. Thank you for coming in. And product self-introduction for the other people. We have Mervin. Mervin, you want to say who you are to Sirimal?
Hello, Sirimal. Penina Sirimal.
Roshanth කියලා තියෙන Sirimal.
Oh, camera off. No, Mama, I'm in the my camera.
Roshanth is my son.
එතකොට you are GRD, the GAD Sirimal, ne? GAD.
Yes. God, Roshan Sirimal, God, they are right.
Yeah. You write a lot to the papers. Product introduction එකක් දෙන්න මම අනිත් අයටත් කියන්නම්. I am actually a medical background. I worked 20 years in Sri Lanka and 20 years in the UK. And also I was involved in various activities in Sri Lanka like kidney transplant program, allied health development, and so I know quite a bit of background. So Mervin, you want to say something?
Now,
yes,
I've been in this sector, our sector for about 2 decades as a assistant secretary in the minister power and energy.
Right.
And well, after retirement, I have been taking a little interest in this because that was my pet subject throughout my public service career.
Very good.
So,
At the moment, we have quite a couple of people at least who are really interested in renewable energy. So you'll probably be interested in them, what they are doing. And there is actually a proposal being discussed tomorrow or day after about how to produce reproducible solar panels in Sri Lanka. So there's a construction program being planned as well. So
I have my different idea about solar and wind in Sri Lanka.
yeah, but wind also we have discussed, and then geothermal energy we have discussed. So there's a huge group who you can liaise with when in the future. So they are not here today. We are here for a different purpose, obviously, because we are just going to talk to this channel. Mervin, you want to say something a little bit more? And then
yeah, briefly, I'm Mervin Silva. I taught in Sri Lanka the maths and science as a teacher originally for a couple of years, but for the last 39, this will be 40 years in the UK now. So I switched over, pretty much learn computer science in the UK and work in IT industry. 15 years for the local government, 15 years for the National Health Service, and in between ran my own IT consultancy. Retired a couple of years ago. I'm an active member of the Sri Lankan Professionals Association in the UK, being the General Secretary, later on as the President. And since then, for the last 7 years, I've been spearheading the scholarship program where we give scholarships donated by donors in the UK, both British, Sri Lankans and British, fund children, bright, capable children in Sri Lanka from very poor backgrounds who otherwise are at risk of discontinuing from education. So that has kept me quite busy, but emotionally it's very rewarding. And since the pandemic, we developed the technology to see and talk to them in person. In the past, it was very much letters and emails. So, and also as part of that, last October, we started online spoken English classes. There are 2 teachers every Friday for an hour each, teach spoken English to, one group is 8 in size, the other one is 9 in size. And it's amazing, rural children, different parts of the country have made significant progress, as a result of that 1 hour spoken English that we have been giving them. That's me.
okay, Ranjanath Podak, just a little introduction to Sirima.
You want me to speak?
Oh, Kian Podak, about yourself, and also you can carry on and say about this interview to the your channel, and then we can see how to do that. So tell me what you want to do, and then we can see how to contribute.
Well, gentlemen, my name is Brigadier Ranjan De Silva. I'm a retired brigadier of the Sri Lanka Army. I am now in the private sector. I take a lot of interest in what is happening in our country and in the world around us. And I have been invited by an Indian independent journalist, Dr. Sanjeeva Reddy, he said he will host a meeting on over Zoom on the Sri Lankan debt. I hope to speak, and I gave this message to Tula, and through Tula, I expected them, invited Tula and his organization also to participate in this discussion. In the meanwhile, a few local intellectuals in Sri Lanka have volunteered also to participate. Among them are 2 professors and and another gentleman who takes a lot of interest in civil society work by the name of Balakrishnan. The two professors are Professor Sri Hettige and Professor Columbadi. Then in addition, there is also, I think, his name is Shanta Jaratna, who has been also in the administrative service for many, many years, and now he's retired, and also he's taking a lot of interest in what is happening in Sri Lanka, and he also has indicated an interest in participating. I have not allocated particular aspects of this subject to anyone so far. So I leave it to you all to talk about this subject and what you are comfortable with in respect of that subject. Well, as for me, I hope to talk about the Chinese dimension of this debt. Just to help you understand, I hope to talk about the Chinese dimension of the debt, firstly, then a few conditionalities that I would like the IMF to take into consideration when granting assistance to Sri Lanka. And lastly, certain provisions, what shall I say, the constitutional inadequacies that I have seen, which has given rise to this national tragedy. And I think that's quite a lot to talk on. But I'll try to be as brief as possible. If you want to, I can repeat that for your benefit if needed. First of all, I want to talk about the Chinese dimension of the debt, which I think is a matter that is now become a stumbling block for the progress of talking with the IMF. Then some conditionalities, and finally the constitutional inadequacies or shortcomings that gave rise to this national tragedy. That's
yeah, I
that's
mean,
all.
sorry, yeah. So what I can do is actually I did a press conference about 2 weeks ago and just kind of summarize 3 slides into what has happened to us, what we should be doing, basically. So it's about 2 or 3 slides. I can just forward those 3 slides. That will give overall idea about where the corruption was, what happened to us, and where we need to act. And your Chinese dimension will fall into that immediately after as a very specific thing. I can just do that. It will probably take 3 minutes, and then I can forward the slides before anything. So you can give it to Dr. Reddy. If that's all right, you can have a look at the slides yourself and then forward it.
Yes. If someone can even, now we all know that this bankruptcy did not happen all of a sudden. It was a gradual process, and which took a long time, and a lot of people, lot of economists, intellectuals, thinkers mentioned that we can't go on living beyond our means. This is the main reason why the bankruptcy had to come, because we kept on living beyond our means. I remember, you may be surprised, I remember when I was in school, my English master used to talk about champagne living with toddy income. You know, our income was only good enough for us to drink toddy, but we kept on drinking champagne. So for how long can you do this? Sooner or later, this collapse had to come. And right from my school days, right throughout, I have heard many economists mentioning this, that we, the country, as a nation, we were living well beyond our means. Only people who did not know this perhaps was our the people who took upon themselves the responsibility to govern the country. Probably they are the only people who didn't know that. You see, they kept on, first we had sufficient income, then we started borrowing, and finally we even started pawning our properties also. So that historical analysis, if somebody can present, that would be also a good idea.
The point is, Ranjan, Sri Lankan ordinary people are, when you take ordinary families, they live within their means culturally. This is this ruling elite who are disconnected, who are quite insensitive, and they reward themselves with massive salaries and rewards and presidential palaces and all that, and run around in imported bulletproof cars. So in a way, for the sins of a few, a nation is paying the price. So in a way, that is the dilemma. I mean, like lots of Asian countries, our people are close to the ground. They live simple lives, hand to mouth. And until this brainwashed by market forces and all the good life the British royal family has, and the Rajapaksa family tried to emulate it. That sort of mindset is distorting the reality. And that's the reason now, part of the reason why we are short of foreign exchange is all these very expensive imported cars and the fuels to fuel them at the cost of, ordinary people, not being able to have a bus fare, fuel to public transport. So anyway, that is my point of view. Whether we want to discuss, we don't perhaps need to discuss that now. If that is an appropriate topic, I am happy to explore that. The other one I had, since you said at the beginning, pick a topic of your choice, something that came to my mind was something that we have been talking about a few weeks ago, about future members of the parliament, like a selection criteria, the minimum criteria for an MP, whether it's relevant to this audience, to the interview, I don't know. What do you think?
Marvin, you are perfectly free to talk what you are comfortable with. And I think your ideas are very good and very positive.
Yeah.
So what I suggest is that you go ahead.
Okay.
See what Sirimal wants to talk. Sirimal, you're also very informed, aren't you? Are you there? Sirimal, hello?
Roshan, what about Roshan?
That's Sirimal.
Roshan can Sirimal tamai. So Roshan is his son's email. Connection.
Until Roshan comes, let me just take a couple of minutes. In that case, I'm going to share 2 slides, send it to you, Ranjan, next couple of days to share. One is the 10 points from the referendum that we put together, saying these are the things that we propose, we feel, the healthy building blocks to change the system, to give the country a future. As part of that, people coming to the future parliament should meet this criteria. So I'll deal with those 2 topics briefly.
Yeah, can I just interrupt there? If you can add the right to recall.
Yeah. Oh, I will do. Yeah.
That's another essential part that needs to go there.
Yeah.
Then it will be complete. Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Can I, Marvin and Tula, the 10-point referendum
Yeah.
10 points. Can I don't think I have got a copy of it.
It's on our
Can you email?
website and you can go through it one by one and then you will see what is asked. At the moment, I think about 150 people have signed and more than 95% agree with all components. But you can individually agree or disagree and submit your WIP. So then you'll understand what it means. I'll send you the website link now so you can do it at a later date, later time.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Then Chula, then if that is all,
Yeah.
shall I send the 4 names? That is Marvin's, yours, and
Yeah, Sirimal, he's disconnected. Maybe the power's gone or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I will tell him that he's included in this. So only 4 people are there now. That's fine. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, that is
yeah.
very good. Yeah, I'll send you the link for the petition. I actually want to develop it a bit more, get more numbers because I plan to go to the Supreme Court on that. So, so we need. I was hoping we'll get 1 million signatures before we do anything with it. So let me send you the link. Yeah. Okay, Ranjan. If you can copy it to many others, it's fine. No problem.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So have we got the time and date of the interview?
I will let you know.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So for me, the Sundays work best for me, but I can manage on Tuesdays as well and Wednesdays. So let's see how it comes. Yeah.
Usually the meetings are in the night at about 8 o'clock.
That's the Sri Lankan time. So that makes it the working time here.
Oh, I see. What is your time right now there in UK, Chula?
At the moment, now it's 4 o'clock.
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yours 8:30 there, Ranjan.
Our time here is 8:30.
Yeah.
So 8 o'clock වගේ කරනවා නම් Tuesdays work best. Sunday අපි මේ හැමදාම මේ meeting එක කරනවානේ regular meeting. Wednesday this time is I'm usually traveling, but it doesn't matter. At least you have the slides now, so you can just present it if I'm not there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Shula Ranjan mention කරනවාද මේ අපේ IT මේක ගැන අපි මොකද්ද කරන්න කියලා. Laptop.
Oh, laptop එක. Now laptop අපි ඇහුවා මේ දැන් transport කරන්න බැරුවා. Now is Mervin had a one laptop. Then when we asked, I normally had a transporter's email who took my books to university free. So they basically did that for about 20 pounds transport cost. So it was very cheap and they cleared it without any tax from Candy and there was no problem. මම ඉතින් ටිකක් වැඩ කළා තියෙන නිසා ඒගොල්ලන් අහුවාම එක laptop එකක් එවනවා නම් ඒගොල්ලෝ කෝවා it has to be done sea මේ air freight කියලා. Air freight එකට 40 pounds විතර යනවා. That's quite bit more expensive than a tea-chest by sea mail. එතකොට now Marvin suggested he can collect about 3 laptops and 2 desktops. So that will all to be a
yeah, and I have some phones. Yeah. Okay.
Bigger package, and we can send it by sea mail. It will cost very little to us, which we can fund it. And I will go and collect it and deliver it to the person who is sending it, the courier. And they will deliver it to Colombo store or Candy store, wherever you want. And then you'll be able to clear it from there. So from the receiving end, it's good to have one address because then I think the costs of paperwork and everything is much less. So I'll be able to put it to one block. But if you have to pay any taxes or anything, I think you'll have to get it from the people who are clearing it from you.
Okay.
You want to say something about it?
What will be the freight cost we like?
Freight cost එක අපිට මං හිතන්නේ TGS දෙකක් වුණත් ඔය ටික ඕනනම් 40 pounds 50 pounds that of course don't worry about that, we will do it.
Yeah. Ranjan, where are you based in Sri Lanka?
I am in Homagama, Marvin.
Homagama. Yeah.
එහෙම නැති ඒක කොළඹට එන්න ඕනේ.
Yeah.
So අපිට address එක එවන්න ඕනේ. I had to give a telephone number and the name and your address to them. So they will call when it's arriving.
All right. Okay.
ඒක
Shall I email it to you?
ඊමේල් කරන්න. ඊමේල් කරන්න and මට යන්න පුළුවන් දවසේදී මට සෙප්තැම්බර් වල I just arranged to because මේ Mervin ඉන්නේ about 200 miles from London. So I was planning to travel from around across there in September, I think 5th.
Yeah.
So I can collect it on 5th. If I can deliver it to the courier on the same day, I'm still planning that. So if we ship it in September, you will have it by end of October or before end of
September, කොහෙක හරියද? Have you got fixed the date yet? Or?
නෑ මෙහෙන් යවන ඩේට් එක exactly දන්නේ නැහැ because මේගොල්ලොත් අර මේ container එක fill වෙනකොට තමයි ඒගොල්ලෝ arrange කරන්න එක යවන්න. So I can deliver it to the courier and they will pack it. They will my පොත්තරම වල තියෙන මොනවත් නැති වෙලා නැහැ. So I'm quite happy with them.
හරි. රංජන් මේ plan එක තියෙන්නේ මේ I have a couple of laptops, couple of desktops and 4 or 5 mobile phones. And we have our scholarship coordinator, national coordinator, Sri Lankan lady in Negombo. එයාගේ මාර්ගෙන් තමයි මම මේව distribute කරේ ගිය සැරේ. ඒ නිසා so when it comes we will address it to her and keep you informed. And so it's a matter of meeting at the right place. You take the laptop label to you. She and her husband will take the others. They record them and contact the families and arrange the distribution. So that will be more cost effective. We'll get it all done in September.
Thank you, Marvin. Then I can contact her.
Yeah, between you, either you go to Negombo or meet in Colombo somewhere.
දැන් මම අහන්න ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ නිගම්බු show එකක් තියෙනවනේ if they can deliver to Negombo, if they deliver to Colombo, then you can go and collect it when they are coming to collect. No,
Yeah. Sorry,
Right,
it's taking a bit of time, but we want to make sure it comes to you. A second one, sending a laptop, used laptop by airmail, it's not cost effective. So
Yeah. I understand.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Marvin, and thank
You're
you very
welcome.
much, Chula. Thank
I
you
think
very
Sirimal
much.
is there. Can we ask him to say what he wants to say in the channel if he's joining?
Yeah.
I think
He was here and he just walked away.
එනකන් පොඩ්ඩක් යමු.
මම response එක බැලුවා 108ක් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙන උත්තර.
Okay.
No,
I think we have to promote it now because that is more or less becoming the only option at the moment. So we will promote it now again. No problem. අර අනිත් එකක් දාන්න පුළුවන් නම් හොඳයි මේ right to recall කියන එක.
Right to recall. ඒකට add කරන්නද එන?
ඒක එහෙම add කරන්න පුළුවන් but අර එතකොට අලුත් අයට විතරයි ඒක response එක එන්නේ but that's okay.
අන්න ඒකයි.
නෑ ඒ වුණාට මේ statistics හරියට එනවා එතකොට. It will go to the same spreadsheet but ඒ වුණාට statistics ඒක හරියට assess වෙනවානේ percentage එකනේ අපිට ඕනේ.
Right to recall නයකට අපිට sentence එකකින් සිංහලෙන් දෙබලෙන් තුනම දාන්න වෙනවා.
හදන්න වෙනවා right to recall කියන එක. Right to recall කියන එක කියන්නේ right to recall අපි elected කය electorate එකට right to recall. ඒක තියෙන්නේ පයි democracy එකක.
මට ඒකට sentence එකක් හදලා එවනවාද? Reader will understand what we mean by that. Electorate will have the right to recall their representative. If they don't, මොකක්ද කියලා කියන්න ඕන.
එහෙම නෑ right to recall විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. So ඒකට ඉතින් percentage එකක් කරවම හදන්න ඕන. කොච්චර 10,000 අස්සම් කරන්න ඕනද? 15,000 whatever that is the job of the judicial department.
Okay. Right. අපේ සිරිමල් ගියායි.
Sirimal is there පොඩ්ඩක් එනකන් ඉමු. Maybe having power problems අරගෙන තියෙනවනේ.
රංජන්ට ඕන නම් මට ස්ක්‍රීන් ෂෙයා කරලා මේකේ questionnaire එකේ question ටිකයි ස්ටැටිස්ටික් පෙන්වන්න හැකි ඕන නම් මේ සිරිමල් එනකන් if it is.
Yeah, I quite like to involve him because he's got quite a lot of, he's logged in from his desktop, Sirimal. He's got quite a huge knowledge. So it's important to connect him.
මං ඇහුවේ මේ සිරිමල් එනකම් මේක ස්ක්‍රීන් එකේ පෙන්වන්නද the results?
පෙන්වන්න yeah.
හරි එහෙමනම්
ඒක රංජන්ට තමයි ගොඩක් important to see.
Right. Can I show? Okay. Ranjan. since we have the time, I'll just show that to you. Okay. Disable participation කියලා කියනවා. Chula.
Mama?
I have make me a co-host so I can share screen.
Right. Okay. දැන් හරියන්න ඕනේ.
Okay, right. I can do it now. Can you see the screen, Ranjan?
Yes, I can. Petition
Yeah, is it
demanding.
readable, or you want me to make it a bit bigger?
Yeah.
නෑ කියවන්න
you can
පුළුවන්.
see.
පුළුවන් නේ?
පුළුවන්.
හරි. So that's the bit of an introduction, all 3 languages. එතකොට ඊට පස්සේ අහනවා මේ continue next section after reading that introduction. Yeah, it's a little bit about the petition that again explains in English, and we guarantee that data itself helps, in confidence, not shared. And yeah, and then once you decide, referendum has 10 questions so far, and at that point, the person responding can choose what language they want to respond in. That way, they only choose one language. It doesn't get terribly long, everything in 3 languages. So let's stay with English for now. And right. We are going to the English section. Hang on a minute, what happened there? Yeah, sorry. I'm showing you the results. No, I'm actually not. Right, if I was responding, you got that option. Can you still see my screen? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So here you are. If I was responding, do it differently. I need to go anonymous, otherwise it won't do the job. Should do. So somebody looking at this system says, right. Be the form next.
Is there provisions to collect signatures for this petition?
Yeah, it comes with the national ID.
Yeah. So
All right. Does it come on email? If so, then that
It's on email. I'm just sending it to you.
Yeah. Okay. So the first question, you want to enshrine human rights in our constitution, yes or no? Let's say I say yes, otherwise, yeah. And accept diversity without discrimination against gender, race, or etc. I support that. You want to support it? I won't submit this. I'll say, do you support independent police judiciary? Yes or no? Yes, say no. Civil administration should be independent, yes or no? Or elected positions, including politicians, maximum tenure. Chula මේකට බැරිද අපිට මේ right to recall මේකටම addendum එක දාන්න බැරිද වෙනම දාන්න ඕනද?
ඕකට දාන්න පුළුවන්. ඔහොම add කරන්න පුළුවන්. You can just edit it. But එතකොට responses වලට එන්නේ only from there onwards. But still it will remain.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So without making an 11th question, we can increase that to say if they don't perform or whatever it is, they have the right to recall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all government must bear responsibility for social welfare for these groups. Yes or no? අපි කියමු no කියලා. Zero tolerance against bribery, corruption. Yes or no? And we should be a non-aligned, secular, liberal democracy. Do you support the idea? Yes or no? And abolish executive presidency? Yes or no? So let's say no. Establish common Sri Lankan identity rather than saying I'm Sinhalese, I'm a Tamil, I'm a Muslim. Right. So write that. And click next. So far you answered the 10 questions, and then you need to put the national ID number, which is mandatory. Without that, you can't submit. And the name as shown in your ID. And then you have the option of submitting, sending your contact. So we need some contact, whether it's an email address or a phone number or both. If you say, I want to give both, and then click next. Yeah, it asks for the ID number. Without that, it won't allow me to progress. So once you submit them, it says, right, you can submit your form, it gets recorded. And I won't do it. I'll just abandon at the moment. I didn't want to enter false information. So based on that, the results we have got so far look a bit like this. Yeah.
Zero tolerance for corruption.
Yeah.
In view of the very, very bad, probably the worst experience any South Asian country suffered.
Yeah.
Can't we increase the muscle strength of that provision? Just saying zero tolerance, but something.
Ranjan, this is going to the constitution. This is not anywhere else. So once it's in the constitution, the legal system has to find a framework how to install it. So it's not our problem. So this is actually the people saying we want these things, not the parliament. So then the parliament will have to structure it or whole constitution according to the people's ideas. So most of the things that's in the constitution may need revision because we have introduced new facts in the constitution by a referendum, and then to change these, it will be how to be a referendum, not the parliament. You see what I mean? So that's why we want to do. So it's a long process, but we'll get there.
So Sirimal is here. So far, out of the 108 respondents, 52% responded in English, and the rest in 52% in Sinhala, remainder in English. Yeah, and 99% support for the human rights, diversity acceptance 100%, judiciary independence 100%, civil administration independent 99%, all elected positions have a fixed tenure of 4 years at time, yeah, and 98%. Government must provide social welfare for vulnerable categories, 100% support. Zero tolerance for bribery, 100% support. Lanka should be a non-aligned secular liberal democracy, 97% in favor. Abolish executive presidency, 96%. Establish a common Sri Lankan identity, 100% support, 100% are in favor. So that is how it has been so far.
Yeah, so it's going well at the moment. So, but we need more commitment from people. I think, Sirimal, we were just showing some lateral thinking down here. What would you like to talk to this channel? That's what Ranjan was asking.
Yeah, I'm on mute, Sirimal. There's the little microphone on the left-hand side with the line going across it in red. If you click on that, it will get switched on. I think Sirimal clicked on the camera rather than mic. Nanghari.
Yeah, okay.
I mute to now. Sirimalගේ කම්පියුටරේ පහළම කළු පාට පටියක් වගේ තියෙනවා. ඒකේ වම් අත පැත්තේ කෙරොලේ තියෙනවා මියුට් කියලා පොඩි මයික්‍රොෆෝන් ලකුණ. අන්න ඒක මවුස් ක්ලික් කළොත් ඒක ඕන් වෙනවා.
අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් දැන් shall I do it? I'll try.
I don't think you can only request.
I can ask to unmute, yeah.
Yeah. You have to physically do it. දැන් හරි. අන්න
Yeah,
හරි
now we can
සිරිමල්.
hear you. We can hear you now.
සිරිමල් කතා කරන්න.
Yeah, that's good. We can hear you now. කතා කරා නම් ඇහෙනවා අපිට. Again muted නේ. අපි මේ මීටින් එකත් ඉවර කරනවද මම මෙසේජ් එකක් දාන්නද? but email
දාන්න.
email එකක් දැම්මම ඉතින් හොඳයිද?
චූල්ලා මට යන්න ඕන දැන්.
Yeah, I had to go as well.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll
I'll catch up with you on it.
yeah, සිරිමල්ට මම දාන්න email එකක්.
Okay.
Yeah. හරි මේ සිරිමල්ට ඇහෙනවද දන්නේ නැහැ නේ මම email එකක් යවුවා but I have sent you an email but එවුනාට Ranjan is going to organize the meeting with the channel. I'll send you the links, then we can join and see whether it will work. Yeah, because we have to conclude the meeting now. Ranjan, anything else you have to say?
No, nothing. Then I'll leave the meeting.
Okay, Sirimal, thank you very much. Yeah, I think he had a problem there. Okay. Are you okay, Sirimal? Can you hear me? අපි මේ තියන්න හදන්නේ දැන් because we ඉවර කළා but මේ මම link එක එවන්න. I'll send the link to the meeting with the channel. මට ඇහෙන්නේ නැහැ කියන එකක් මොකක්වත්. I can't hear anything. Okay. Right. එහෙනම් so the අනිත් දෙන්න දැන් ගියා because they have other things to do. මේ මම මෙතනින් නවත්තන්නම් දැනට. Okay? Yeah. Can you hear me? Can you hear me at all? All right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I'll send you an email.